Hi friends, welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Yvonne and you are on Ginger Chick Rehab, where I, along with my husband Chris, like to make over secondhand finds. Not only small items, but we do some furniture items here on the channel. So in today's video, that is what we're doing. We are sharing the process of taking down secondhand, maybe a little bit worse for wear. What do you all consider worse for wear? Now, this has some beautiful bones to it. I picked this up at an auction for $5. It was picked out of a shed. So this is actually cleaning off the leaves and the cobwebs, the first layer anyway, but this is probably why a lot of people stayed clear of it, because of the bug damage to the wood on the bottom. But my goodness, is this a beautiful little cabinet. So the door's a little wonky too, but you know, it's a little worse for wear. But wow, the story that this piece can tell. So Chris is going to start off with just getting the hinges if he can. They've been on there a while. They were in the weather, unfortunately, so they're a little bit stuck on there. Sometimes you just have to play with something to get it to come apart. And of course, the older pieces always seem to have flat head screws on them. I said I only got the first layer of leaves and cobwebs off there. So whew, anyway, yeah, so he's going in and trying to get, with the vacuum, suck a little bit more out of there. So the bottom of that piece of wood is too far gone from the bug infestation that it had. Luckily, there's nobody. It's empty, or I would not have got it. So I had to check that out. But yes, it's too far gone, so it's going to have to be removed and replaced. You can see that they work their way up to the corner, so that's going to need to be cut out. Not any amount of Bondo is going to save that. That's going to be a big hole. So he's going to go ahead and cut that flush. Cut it square. Still keeping that side, but yes, just cut off the worst part of it. It has that piece cut off. Now he needs to cut a new piece. Never the easiest task in a job I definitely can't do. So you do it a little bit bigger, make it a little bit thinner so it fits. It's all about at least trying to match up the size. He finally has it to the size he needs. Now he needs to figure out how am I going to hold it in place to get it glued on. Nothing's ever easy, is it, y'all? So what he's going to do is he's going to take a piece of metal. He wrapped it in some packing tape, something so the glue doesn't stick to it. It won't stick to the packing tape. And then he's just going to clamp that piece of metal in place. That way it has something hard and level to keep it up. And so he added a little Titebond glue to the two sides that he needs to glue together, and that will help keep it in place until it dries. For the door, all he needs to do is tighten up those joints. They have just been weathered. The glue has come loose. Whether it was glue or not, I don't know. But anyway, he's going to go ahead and put some Titebond glue in there, get that all clamped up so that door will be nice and tight and not wobbly anymore. Now Now to make it a little bit closer of a match, it's pretty darn good, I have to say. It's a patch job. Plain and simply, it is a patch job. But if you look at that bottom shelf, you can tell this was probably a patched piece that was made because somebody needed a place to store something. So it's just a patch job, just tells a story. Now to work on the bottom piece. Oh, heck yeah, it would have been nice to have the same patina wood in our stash, but that's 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 not happening today. So he's just using a piece of wood. It just needs to be taken down to the size that it needs, and so now he's using his planer to get it the same thickness, so it's just not so odd, a big chunky bottom. You use what you have, so that's what he's doing here, is he's making quite a few passes. As you can see that this piece of wood kind of was cupped a little bit, so the planer will take it down nice and flat. So next thing that Chris is doing is the original piece, the top body of that cabinet sat down into that piece of wood. So that's what he's making here. He is making a place for the back piece to rest onto this bottom piece. He was using his table saw to remove the most that he could with the table saw of wood, and now he's just going to take some chisels and he's going to go ahead and start to square it off. Now that he has that squared off, it is time to get it glued together, and you can see where the back went down, so he needed to make that little lip for it to rest on. Structurally, it'll just hold it a little bit better. Even though he glued this and then he brad nailed it on, it's good and on. But to keep it with the integrity, he's actually going to go ahead and drill some holes out and put some of those original screws back in the bottom. This was so worth the save. I know that it looks kind of like a hot mess right now, but just wait for it. So right now he's just using some Dawn dish soap to get it all cleaned up, just some hot water, get all that yuckiness off this piece. Some beautiful writing on the back of this. I don't know what it says. Maybe it was just the salvage piece of wood that they used it for. But it's a beautiful patina. It's a beautiful story. So he's going to take the time and tape that off to protect it while this is getting painted. Chris is so prone to using the sprayer that he's not used to using Fusions yet. So this is going to be his first chance to test out the Fusions paint. So I told him, oh my goodness, you're going to love it once you've used it. So that's why, I mean, he was going to tape off the back anyway, but he was really taping off the back as if he was going to use the sprayer. But we just have this one piece, and the Fusion, I think, will cover it beautifully. Now for the hardware where that paint is drying, I think the hardware is gorgeous. I'm going to try to not make that piece look black. But anyway, so all I did was clean this rusty crustiness, and now I'm going to seal it in with some weather defense. And we can't forget those nails. That way when you touch the rust, it's not going to come off on your hands. So one coat was plenty to cover this. Is that just not amazing coverage? So I'm actually going in really heavy with some 150 sandpaper, not 220, 150, because I really want to try to make this look like an old cupboard again. Right now it just looks like it's freshly painted. So I'm not only am I distressing those edges, I'm distressing whatever that sandpaper will distress. This is exactly what I want to see. I want to see some of that underneath wood. I want the sandpaper to take enough paint off that you can see the grain of the wood. Now my orbital sander just can't get into every nook and cranny. So some of these I have to go in with my mouse sander that has more of a tip, and then I'll go ahead and get them that way. But there are some areas that the mouse sander won't fit into that I'll have to take some sandpaper by hand and sand it. And then in case somebody puts this up against a wall, these brackets are very rusty and I don't want the rust to come off of where, against somebody's wall. So I'll just seal that in with that weather defense also. My next step is really going to bring this back to probably close to what the original piece looked like. So on my piece of drop cloth, my rag, I just have some Waverly antiquing wax. So the whole piece has been sanded. This is going to liven back up where the sandpaper dulled the areas, but it's also going to darken up those light spots, and it's going to richen up that black paint. That black paint isn't quite going to look like it's dark black paint anymore. And saving that rusty, crusty hardware, just sealing that in, just gave the hardware a whole another look. So thank you so much for watching today's video. And what did you think? Yes, a $5 little cabinet that was old. So how do you save it? It had bug damage. It had bug damage. How do you save it? You had to create a new base. Chris does an awesome job of that. And it's that perfectly imperfect that I talk about. We can't match up the wood, but I did match up. I thought we did a good job painting it and matching up and still keeping the integrity of that beautiful old cabinet piece. Oh my gosh, I just absolutely love it. Give me a quick comment down below. What did you think? Would you have walked away? Would you have like, this is unsavable? It just has to be it just has to be taken. You know, I love when I just know that what Chris can do. I just know that he is amazing at saving pieces. So thanks again for watching today's video. And as always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you're new and you're checking out this channel for the first time and you like these furniture makeovers, these smaller pieces or secondhand makeovers, please hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know we've uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys. And you can see what we're up to. Bye.